Welcome, everyone. Today we're diving into a discussion about unconditional love, that agape love that's been celebrated across cultures and time. It's fascinating how this love transcends all judgment, offering acceptance without any conditions at all.
Yeah, I find that really intriguing. This idea of love that doesn't ask for anything in return, right?
Exactly. Agape love originates from a deep biblical context. You see, it's described in the New Testament as God's ultimate love for humanity. It's like this love that just flows without expecting something back, as opposed to other types like eros or philia.
Gotcha. And what really sets agape apart, would you say, is its nature of unconditional acceptance, where it doesn't measure our worth based on our achievements or how we look?
Yes, absolutely. It's characterized by patience, kindness, and most importantly, a refusal to hold grudges. Think about it. The idea that love doesn't keep score of wrongs, like that table that compares conditional love, which tracks every offense, versus unconditional love,
Right,
which
I totally
offers
see that.
fresh starts every day.
So, inherently, every human being, regardless of background or status, craves this kind of acceptance, doesn't it?
Oh, for sure. Every one of us longs for being seen and accepted just as we are. It's similar to what Maslow described about belonging being at the heart of our needs. When we feel truly accepted, it's like coming home. And that feeling, it's
Yes, it
transformative.
really is. Yet it seems society often traps us in conditional love, like where love is granted only if you meet certain standards, right?
Definitely. Society teaches us a performance based, appearance based, and behavior based kind of love. You know, I'll love you if you succeed, or if you look a certain way. This creates a pressure cooker of anxiety and perfectionism that makes true vulnerability seem,
That's
well,
so
a bit
true.
too risky. Too.
So then, how do we break that destructive judgment cycle that seems to start in childhood, where we internalize these conditional messages?
That's a pivotal question. The cycle begins with external judgment, criticism that gets internalized as harsh self judgment. This internal dialogue not only holds on to past failures, but often leads us to judge others by those same standards. Breaking that cycle means, we have to experience unconditional acceptance ourselves and
Right,
in
that's a
turn
tough break to do,
extend it
but
to
so
others.
necessary. Now, I'm curious about the transformative power of such love. How exactly does embracing agape change a person's life?
Excellent point. It's almost like a metamorphosis. Think of a butterfly emerging from its chrysalis. When we receive unconditional love, we create a sense of safety that allows us to be vulnerable, which is essential for personal growth. It's like the art of kintsugi, you know? Our broken parts are mended with gold, turning our imperfections into something uniquely beautiful.
Yeah, that's a pretty vivid picture. And I see there's also a scientific side to this, right? Something about stress reduction and improved relationships?
Absolutely. Research shows that when people feel unconditionally accepted, their stress levels drop, the reduction in cortisol is measurable, and relationship satisfaction can improve significantly. It's as if the parasympathetic nervous system is activated, switching us from a survival mode to one that's all about thriving.
That's really fascinating. But wouldn't you say that embracing unconditional love is easier said than done? I mean, with all the societal barriers and our own internalized beliefs, it sounds like a steep climb.
You're right, it is challenging. The main barriers come from deeply rooted beliefs of unworthiness and fear of vulnerability. We build walls to protect ourselves, but then those very walls block us from receiving the unconditional love we so desperately need. It's kind of ironic, isn't it?
Yeah, very ironic indeed. So then, what are some practical steps people can take to live out agape love?
There are several paths. First, there's practicing self compassion, treating yourself with the same kindness as you would a dear friend. Then, one can challenge distorted thinking by questioning whether those negative beliefs about unworthiness are really based on truth or just fragments of past experiences. Also, starting small is key. Accepting small acts of kindness can help break down the barriers to receiving love.
Yes, that's really empowering. And how about extending this kind of love to those who are um, difficult or whose behaviors might be challenging?
That's a great question. Unconditional love towards difficult people means recognizing that their behaviors often stem from unhealed wounds. It doesn't mean you allow toxic behavior to continue unchecked, but it involves setting healthy boundaries and seeing the person beyond the behavior. It's about maintaining respect for the inherent worth of each person while protecting yourself.
That makes a lot of sense, though I sometimes wonder if that approach risks enabling negative behavior. Can you clarify that a bit more? I mean, isn't there a fine line between unconditional love and just letting people off the hook?
Yeah, that's an important point. Unconditional love includes boundaries. It's not about accepting harmful behavior without consequence. It's like offering kindness while still upholding your own well-being. So you're not letting someone off the hook, you're simply recognizing that even in their flawed moments, that person is still deserving of care and compassion.
Right, I can see that distinction now. There's also this idea of creating spaces, like in families, workplaces, or even faith communities, where unconditional love thrives. What does that look like in practice?
Very true. In families, it means developing homes where errors are considered learning moments rather than failures. In workplaces, it involves fostering an environment where people feel valued for who they are, not just what they produce. And in faith communities, it's about extending grace to everyone, regardless of their past. These microcultures of unconditional acceptance can gradually shift societal norms toward more authentic
Creating those
connection.
safe spaces is definitely essential. And then there's the ripple effect, right? One act of unconditional love doesn't just stop with one person. It can affect many others in ways we might never fully see.
Absolutely. It's like an emotional contagion. According to the research, even a single unconditionally loving action can influence someone's mood for a whole week. And that positive energy tends to spread across networks. It's like dropping a pebble in a pond. Those ripples can extend much further than you'd imagine.
Yeah, that really puts it into perspective, right? And it's almost revolutionary when you think about it. An entire world transformed by love that doesn't require conditions.
For sure, the takeaway is that love, when given and received without strings, creates opportunities for healing on a deep personal level and consequently transforms communities. It all starts with recognizing that you are inherently worthy of that love and letting yourself both receive and bestow it generously.
It's powerful. So, in a nutshell, embracing unconditional love means practicing self-compassion, challenging those unworthy beliefs, setting healthy boundaries, and creating spaces that encourage authenticity and vulnerability.
Exactly. And while it's a challenging journey filled with ups and downs, it's also incredibly rewarding. Our imperfections become our strengths when they are seen through the lens of unconditional love, and that not only heals us, but it ripples outwards to heal others as well.
Totally true. It's like every moment of kindness, every act of grace, is a step towards a more compassionate world.
Yes, indeed. And let's be honest, even when we feel we've failed at loving, the practice of returning to unconditional love itself becomes a testimony to our resilience. Every small present act of kindness matters more than any grand gesture.
Yeah, that resonates deeply. Wow. It's a circle of love that fills the void we often feel and offers a path to genuine belonging.
Exactly. So as we wrap up this conversation, remember that the unconditional love you've been searching for is already within you. It starts with recognizing your own worth, receiving love freely, and then extending that same love to others.
Absolutely. And maybe, just maybe, by embodying this love, we can all help create more spaces where everyone feels valued, accepted, and truly at home.
That's the dream, transforming not only ourselves, but the wider community through each little act of unconditional kindness. So here's to courage, compassion, and the journey of love that never truly ends.
Yep, truly inspiring. Thanks for sharing these insights. It's been really enlightening and a reminder of what matters most.
Absolutely. Thanks for being part of this journey. And remember, every day is a fresh start to love more deeply, to be more present, and to create a ripple effect of healing.
Cheers to that. And here's to unconditional love transforming lives everywhere.